Hello guys, this is Eledvin and today I would like to show you like an example on how to use my hair mashup modders resource because I wanna do another tutorial on custom spring physics and I realized that I might need to make a custom hair and I will just like combine this. So first what you need to do is download this resource and you need Blender for this. The version doesn't really matter for the most part, but make sure it's not like the first version of Blender ever. I made it using the 4.2 version, but other 4 versions or the 3.6 should be okay. So let's get into it. So when you first open it, this is what you're greeted with, and all the hair materials and the lighting and camera used is from Volno's texture toolbox that I was permitted to use with giving credit. So all credit to Volno for this. Thank you so much. It made my job much easier. So basically what this has is a bunch of base game hairs separated into parts, and you can make a mashup of this out of these parts for your custom hairstyle. And you need to be familiar with Blender and how it works, so I won't go over like basics of Blender or anything. I'm just assuming you already know what you're doing while you're in Blender. So to hide all the cameras and lights, I will just untick the extras and I will hide the buns, and I already have like a general idea for a hairstyle. So here you can see all of like the separated stuff, and in the materials here are different materials for hairs and also some accessories that some of the hairstyles have. I think I only have laser Orin, the scalp, and shadow heart, and Amberly. But you're not required to like use the accessories, I just included them. So enough yapping, let's get into it. So first what I wanna do is I wanna choose a top, and when you unhide, like it shows all of these tops. So I will left click, scroll to the bottom of the category, press shift and click here and press H to hide all, and now you can choose what top do you want, and I want to use this one because I want to make like hanging braids. So I will have this top, and what I usually do is I right click and make a new collection and just call it something. And to make it non-destructive, I will just Shift D to duplicate the hair and move it to the category, so I don't like mess with the base, and hide the original. So here we have the top. Now I want to find the braids, and I have 2 different categories with braids. Here are like the basic braids with like their original positioning, and if you wanna like move them, I have braids with curves assigned to them. So If I hide all these and just show these ones that I wanna use, they have a curve, or I have only like separated it and have just one. And you just go to edit mode on the braid curve, and here you can rotate and move it like non-destructively where you want. And I will actually use this version, so this might actually also, if you're unfamiliar with curves in Blender, they are kind of tricky to set up. But basically both the objects have to have the same origin and like have them close together. But to move them where I need them, I will select both and just rotate, move along the x-axis, move it a bit up to, I just wanna have it in the like general position where I want it. And also I will probably delete this part. So I go to edit mode, hover over the part I don't want, and press L to select all linked. And I'm not sure if it will delete. Oh, it's gonna look okay. Click here to like hide the overlays. Yeah, and we only have the basic like braid, so this is fine. So now we can move it where we want it, and I think this is close enough. And I might make like a hairband or something so we can hide the connection or lack thereof. So I will select this point. I find Bezier curves like the best for this. So, and here in this corner you can see what I'm actually pressing. It's screencast keys and it's very useful. So I will just move it to the general location. And now I will select the lower part and like move it. It takes some, like, you need to get used to the curves or how they want, but they are different type of curves. And you can convert the curve into different types, but I just like the Bezier curves. And also, if you want more points, you can just press A to select all, go to segments and subdivide, and you have another handle that you can manipulate. So I'm not sure if I want to braid it in front of the ear or behind, but we can just check, and I think it will be better in the front. So I will just position it. And maybe I will make it so it's further away from the hair, and I just like imagine visual hairband here. So this is looking kind of cute. So I always can't find this. I'm gonna move it closer so it's more, and I wanna also like rotate it. So the braid is facing the front, but I don't know if I can manage. Yeah, it's looking better. Yeah, and we have, oh, that's not looking right, yeah. And yeah, that's it. That's how I want the braid to be for now. I'm also not having it too close to the mannequin because I wanna account for armor. When you're wearing armor, like, I don't want the braid clipping, but it's gonna have physics, so I don't worry much about it. So here we have the braid, and actually I might need to, yeah, so another great thing with curves is if you press Ctrl T while you have a handle selected, you can align the tilt, which I forgot about earlier. So I'm just gonna check this tilt is okay with this handle. It's fine, and I'm gonna slightly tilt it. Yeah, that's how I want it. Okay, so this part is fine. Now I will try to mirror it and to just like see how it will look, and I think this is looking kind of cute. So make sure you are saving frequently, because Blender, even though it doesn't crash as much as the toolkit, it still crashes. So I'll just go Ctrl Shift S and save it as tutorial hair, so I don't overwrite the initial file. So we have the braids. I won't apply the curves just yet because I want to add bangs, and I just keep the curves in case I'll need to adjust it. So bangs, we have bangs here, and yeah, there's quite a lot. So again, you can hide and just choose any bangs you want. I will just go through all these bangs to decide which ones look the best. And also, I'm not sure that every hair has the right hair material like in the game. I just assumed, so I might be wrong. So if you're not sure the hair looks right, you can also go to viewport shading, but if you're not sure, you can just go through all these materials and see if some fit better. But I really think that these braids use Shadow Heart's hair, so that's what I'm gonna use. So we can be in the viewport shading, or I like the material preview. Yeah, so I don't know where we ended up with the bangs. Yes, so I like these ones. They are kind of like minimal and cute, so I'm considering those. And you can also combine more bangs, like it's really up to you. But another thing to consider is that if you combine lots of different hair parts, each part may have different hair material. So then you have two options. One is to find a material that fits all of the hair parts, or just have more meshes and assign their material to each of the mesh in the toolkit later. Or if you don't use toolkit, then manually. Yeah, but I hope you get what I mean. So if I look at these, they use the sleek long A. So if I give it shadow hearts, it kind of looks okay. So yeah, I'm set on using these. Move it here and hide it here so it's not a duplicate. And just look if I like the gnome cuts bangs also, but I think they might be too long. So, but they cover more, so we might edit them a bit to make them shorter. So, and they use the sleek long A, but I think they use shadow hearts. So I'm gonna Shift D. Oh, I don't have them selected. Shift D to duplicate and move them to our folder. Yeah, and basically this is what our hair is gonna be, and I think the braids are quite okay, but I might... Did I? No, I didn't copy these, so select both, Shift D, and move them here. So I might just edit the... How's the tilt? Yeah, I will keep the tilt, but... Yeah, and maybe move it a bit further. You can also extrude the curves, but then you will have to like reposition everything, so I'm not gonna do that. But I might also make the hair bend, and I will just look at different already in the game accessories. So we have this tie, and I think it would fit pretty well. So I will duplicate. I'm edit mode. Duplicate and move it to our folder. And we have a tie. So let's just move it and see how it will look. I will also go to object and set origin to geometry, so it's better. And I'm aware that the material doesn't look exactly like in the game, but that's the best I could do, so... I'm gonna hide the braid for a bit, just to like see the scale and everything. And the braid is too low. So that's why I didn't remove the curves just yet. Yeah, that's looking quite alright, and I also noticed that when I deleted those parts, they actually did something, so I messed up, but that's all right, because yeah, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna append, find the resource, objects, long C spring braid, find the braid, and basically redo it. So save, and when you are 100% sure that you won't be moving the braids like in a big way, you can click the braid and apply the curve modifier. And now if we go to the curve, it doesn't affect the braid anymore. It's like solid in place. We can delete the curve. I will apply transforms once more to make sure that it's mirrored rightly, and I won't apply the mirror modifier just yet because I want to deal with these parts. So we go to object mode, then what I would do is select the endpoints. It doesn't have to be perfect, and not delete them, but instead I will tick connected only. So when we use proportional editing, it doesn't move anything else in the braid, but only these. And now I will just try to, sometimes when I have this selection done, I will just do this to have a better visual of what I'm doing. So this part is fine. And what I'm trying to do is just like move it closer to the braid. So it's more natural. We can already see much improvement. Yeah, now it looks better, much better. And if we apply the mirror modifier, this part wouldn't change, so that would be bad. And we would have to like do the same thing on the other side, but basically only apply modifiers when you are 100% sure you are done with the job. So I think this is looking good. Now we can turn off the connected only and mess around with the braid more. And I'm also thinking to adding some stray hairs here, just to make it more thick. And you can always switch these up. So you can see that the hair is basically composed of a thick layer, base layer, and then some lighter layers to like implicate hair. I think I destroyed it quite a bit, so I'll just reload it, okay? It's also that we are really zoomed in, and in the game you're probably gonna be this close only in the character creation or some really zoomed in screenshots, so and sometimes if you're having trouble selecting, you can switch to the face view or face selection, and that might be sometimes better. Yeah, we'll leave it for now. Like if we just go to this view, it's like not really noticeable, but for some reason this braid isn't really fitting like it should. So I will try to apply transforms one more time. Or maybe it's the hair tie that's... Yeah, it was the hair tie. The transforms were not applied properly. I will also move it a tiny bit further. Okay, so now that we have everything sorted out, I was thinking I could take parts of some of the tails, actually. I just need to, yeah. I'm gonna... Why it doesn't wanna... Yeah, I'm gonna just do this. Whenever I record, nothing wants to cooperate for some reason, so I'm sorry about that. So I'm just gonna quickly look at some of the tails from the game, and maybe we could take some bangs. So just something really small, like maybe Lazel's bangs. I will duplicate them, move them to our folder, hide it, and now, yeah, so I only wanna use like these parts, so Control plus Then I invert selection, delete what I don't want. Then I quickly change it to shadow hard to see that the texture looks okay. Object, set origin to geometry, and now what I want to do is, maybe like, I don't know, hide the connection. It's not gonna do much. Proportional editing, and I will hopefully pose it without having to add a curve. I know that the sculpt mode has a pose function, but I haven't figured it out yet, so yeah, I just wanna like make it a bit messier and thicker. That's what I wanna do. So let's see if it even did anything. Yeah, it kinda hid that like awkward part in there, and I think it kind of looks good. I also gotta check how many vertices, yeah, because hair, the highest poly hair in the game, I think, is Amberly, which has like around 50,000 vertices, but I know that it's possible to have a hair have like 100k vertices, but the lower the better. So when you're combining hair, just don't go too crazy so the PC explodes when you load the hair into the game. So if we just, I'm not gonna use the tie. If I select all, we are at 31, which is basically what Orin's braid has, so it's quite good. It's quite high, but still totally legit, so I will reposition a bit, and it looks like, some strand is too short to be in the braid, which is like a nice detail. And maybe I will make the hair thicker. And here we have the material, Shadow Heart's hair. And if we like take, which is the thickest, this one. If I select it, disable proportional editing, and like move it to a thicker spot, it makes the hair even thicker, which is exactly what I wanted. So now I'm happy. Yippee! Now we can just slightly adjust. Yeah, and I quite like what I did there, so I'm gonna hit save, and I deleted the shortcuts from OBS, so now I know I'm not stopping recording. And with the banks, I will apply all transforms and add a mirror modifier. And this is our hair, and I'm very, very happy with it. Like, it's cute. I've been yapping for too long, so I will see you in the next video. I hope this was helpful and that you will be able to make some pretty hairs with this resource. And also thanks again to Volno for being generous enough to let me snatch his shaders and lights and the camera, because I wouldn't be able to figure it out on my own. So okay, see you next time, bye.